Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the midweek edition of the Fumble Live. We have a lot to talk about. We are going to revisit that Ben Simmons situation because why not? It's what we're all talking about right now. We want to see what happens with it. So we're going to revisit it and talk about a money aspect and see if Chris thinks that's going to change Ben Simmons' mind at all. Plus, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. He's a little cocky after just 2 games. Want to see if we think that he should be, or if he should just stand down a little bit. But before we do all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And now here's the full Fumble Squad. Myself, I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K. What up, Jackie?
Welcome back. I have a question for you because you know we're part of Who Dat Nation. I know you saw that our Superdome was on fire. The roof was on the roof was on fire.
Right, yeah. Yeah. The hell was that about?
I didn't see anything as to why it was on fire. I watched like a 10-minute video of it burning, and I didn't see no fire trucks, but apparently
nothing.
They were there. One person was transported to the hospital with slight burns, but it's what caught it on fire that I'm having a hard time. I need somebody to explain it to me. Apparently, it was a pressure washer that caught on fire. But isn't there water in the pressure washer?
Isn't that something's wrong with that pressure washer, man? That sounds backwards to me. So the pressure washer caught on fire?
Yes, it says upon further investigation, it appears that a pressure washer being used to clean the roof caught fire. So what did he do? Did he just throw it on the roof, or like? I don't know.
Somebody using? So somebody was using the pressure washer. Oh, that's crazy. And then it just caught on fire. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so that's obviously the person that sustained some slight burns, but I'm still trying to understand how something filled with water. But I mean, I just work here. I don't serious machines, man.
I just work here.
I don't know. You throw it. Oh, okay. Now it's on fire. I don't know. It's
interesting. Well, hopefully he's all right, and hopefully the dome's cool. And we all right. We need that's crazy.
This is just getting ridiculous. Kevin Lang says it might be a gas-powered pressure washer. That just sounds dangerous to have something that's gas-powered.
Didn't even know that there was such a thing. Got it.
I didn't. Kevin Lang got all the facts. All right, but let's get into our first need-to-know news topic. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, Chris, but definitely want to get your thoughts about this because we know what's going on with Ben Simmons. He is standing his ground. He says he is not going to show up to practice. He has no intentions for playing with the team. Let me show you these 2 tweets from our boy Woj. He kind of breaks it down a little bit further. So he says, ESPN sources say Philadelphia 76ers All-Star Ben Simmons will not report for opening of training camp next week and intends to never play another game for the franchise. Simmons hasn't spoken to the team since late August, the late August meeting when he communicated this message to the Sixers officials. And then we have another tweet from Woj as well that says Simmons is clearly aware of sanctions available to the organization to fine and suspend him, including withholding of salary. But so far, Simmons appears willing to carry out a plan of forcing his way to a new team. Sixers have yet to find a trade they're willing to make for him. So the interesting thing is that they can fine him $227,000 per day that he doesn't show up. They usually practice 6 days a week. So that's going to end up, if they do that, it's going to end up being a fine of $1.3 million. However, his contract, he is guaranteed for $33 million this season. So I can kind of see him just staying the course and saying, you want $1.3 million back? That's fine. Take that money. I still want out. I just don't know how this looks for him as far as his trade status. So if you're Rich Paul and you're his agent, what are you saying to him right now, Chris?
Oh boy, that's the good question because that part I can't answer. I don't know because it almost feels like if he does go back to practice and goes back to training camp, fines and all that aside, then the Sixers can take control of the situation and pull the whole. We'll get to it. We'll deal with it when we get the chance to get to it, kind of thing. And then Ben Simmons is going to end up being a Sixer till like the trade deadline and blah blah blah. But on the other side of that, he can go on there and he can not be good, and the team could not benefit from it, and then they want to get rid of him. So there's so many ways to go about it. But as far as the bank accounts, we talk about protecting your pockets. And I know Ben Simmons, I know you on a ridiculous contract right now, but that's a lot. Even if you can at least just show up and make yourself better, whether you want like look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a good example of that. So it's a hard one because I get what Ben Simmons is trying to do. He's trying to stay his ground. He feels like he was disrespected this, then the third. But at the same time, that's almost that's a good chunk of your contract coming out because although I know you're getting paid, whatever it is, $5,000 million a year, whatever your deal is. But the point of the matter is this 1.9 that we were talking about, that's coming right now. Your whole contract ain't coming right now. That's coming in increments. So I don't know. To me, it makes more sense for him to just let it ride, go to training camp, make sure that he applies the pressure. I mean, James Harden was able to handle the situation and still be a part of the team. I feel like it makes the most sense for him to do something like that. But like I said, I think that he still has the power in this one, but he got to protect his damn pockets. No, don't be an idiot. I know you're upset, but don't be an idiot.
Ryan McClain in the chat is calling him Beyonce. Guess he's just being a little bit too diva-y, so now he's Beyonce. I love that. That's hilarious. But is he being too much of a diva, considering that his numbers continue to decline every single year? You don't think he's being too much of a diva with this?
No,
I'm James Harden. You know what I mean?
But I was gonna say that's exactly what I'm saying. I get it because James Harden has a skill, and I get that. And I know people are attacking him, and you bring up the point every single time, and you're never wrong with the fact that his stats have gone down every single year. But at the same time, his accolades to the point in his career right now at his age, we cannot throw that out the window. The kid Ben's been great. His stats have not been good for the team. The combination of him and Joel Embiid have not been great. You and me have been at the top of that train talking about it's not going to work. These two do not work together. So though I don't know, I'm pro athlete on this one. I want him to go to a place that will benefit him, so we can hopefully see the Ben Simmons that we're all hoping to see in the NBA again. And I'm not ready to call this divish because at the same time, it's a two-way street. We can hear that the Sixers are trying to reach out to him, but how much are they trying to reach out to him? Is somebody from the front office going to visit and say what's up, or are they just sending text messages because they're saying their assistant to send text messages? We don't know what the whole situation is. How personal is it? How much they really want to try and make this work? So I'm not ready to attack him completely. But it's not a great look, but at the same time, Ben Simmons needs to get out and he needs to handle it a better way, in my opinion.
I agree with Kevin Lang in the chat. He says, I wasn't down with Brett Brown making him a point guard. I think that's where these troubles kind of started. If whatever team he goes to, do you think that that's something that needs to be addressed as well? Ben Simmons is not a true point guard, or what do you think about that?
I think he's a true point guard. He's been playing point guard. He played point guard in high school, and he played point guard at LSU. I think he's a true point guard. Like I said, I just don't think it works with him and Joel Embiid. He's not a shooting point guard. He goes to the paint and dishes, and he drives and dishes. He's not a shooting point guard. So when you have a guy that lives in the paint, it's not going to work. So I think the point guard situation is not the problem. I think that the combination of who his running mate was, they just did not mesh. It does not work. If he was a shooter, this is a different conversation. So I'm not attacking his point guard ability. I think he's a great point guard, and he used that to his advantage, being 6'10".
So maybe our perception of what a point guard is supposed to do just doesn't apply to Ben Simmons, because I think most of us are used to, at least now, maybe not the old school, but now we're kind of used to a shooting point guard, and that's just not who he is. Old school, I think Ben would have been fine because that's just, it's a different time. But so what about his teammates, though? With him, if the rumors are true and he's not talking to anybody, including his teammates, if they force his hand, which I know you say Ben Simmons holds all the cards, but contractually the 76ers kind of have a hand in this too. And if they stay the course and if they don't bring down their asking price for Ben Simmons, what does it say if Ben Simmons has to bite the bullet and then come back? And then how do you face teammates that you haven't spoken to since August?
So I was thinking about this, but then I just a few days ago, probably 2-3 days ago, I saw a workout video and he had Tyrese Maxey there with him. Matisse Thybulle was there with him. Shaq Milton, he had teammates there in the workout with him. So I don't think the beef is with those guys. So I think he goes there. I mean, maybe Embiid, because I don't know what's going on there. We've been talking about the subtext here and there, but in that workout just a few days ago, where he's been working out the entire time, Maxey was there in his Sixers gear. What's his name? Matisse Thybulle, Shake Milton. Those are guys that are on the team, and those are guys that are guards around with him. So I don't think there's going to be much beef with the team. I think as far as the front office, that's a different conversation. I think he'll go right in. He'll be just fine with all those guys. With Embiid, I don't know. But with the other guys, I think he's going to be just fine. So, like I said, man, the Sixers need to handle this one a little bit better, in my opinion. I think the Sixers are going to get a little bit less out of this than they should be getting.
Well, I think that's the first thing. I think they definitely have to realize that they have to lower the price for him. And then I think it's in the best interest of everyone to get this resolved. I just don't know who holds the upper hand. I know you think Ben holds the upper hand, but I think the 76ers, they could be petty as long as they want, because they can continue to fine him and then pay him less on that contract. So I just don't know who's going to bend first, pun intended, and then we'll just have to wait and see. So let's move on into this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, I was just going to say, with the power of Philadelphia, I think Ben Simmons is going to win because they're going to be pissed at Ben. But the minute this affects the Sixers' record for the regular season and Ben Simmons is still on roster, Philadelphia going to let the Sixers know what's going on. A team that's supposed to be a top 3 team in the East, and they 5-10, 15 games in with Ben Simmons still on the roster. Look, Ben Simmons going to get booed all the way out, but he got the power on his side because I feel like the fans go let him hear it. So I still think Ben Simmons, the ball is in his court, or the ball is in Sixers' court on how they want to handle this whole thing.
All right, we'll see. Kevin, I agree with you. Kevin says, fine him to obscurity. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So I agree 100%. But let's get on to this next need to know news, because this one is interesting because Chris and I talked about this as well. We were super excited with how our Saints looked week 1, especially against Aaron Rodgers. I don't think we necessarily bashed Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think anyone that I've seen talk about Aaron Rodgers bashed him. Well, Stephen A. did a little bit. But I think for the most part, we all just kind of said he didn't look like himself. He didn't look like he was invested. We know that he seems like mentally checked out as far as the interviews he did before the season. So I don't think we all bashed him. We just said, okay, maybe it looks like he's not there. So in that game, he threw no touchdowns. He threw 2 picks, and then he went 15 for 28 and just 133 yards. So let me show you this one. Again, like I said, Stephen A. talked bad about him a little bit. I'm not going to show you the rant. I'm just going to read what he said because, it's Stephen A. Y'all know what he sounds like. So let me just throw this tweet up there really quick. From ESPN about, did I not throw it in there? Basically, he said that what he did was atrocious. I could have sworn I threw it in there, but maybe I didn't. Basically, that he just didn't play well, everything that he did. Let me just read it to you. It says, that was the most atrocious performance of Aaron Rodgers' career. He was so awful that embarrassing doesn't even begin to describe it. That was not my best Stephen A. voice, but you know how he sounds. So that's what he said about Aaron Rodgers. And then he plays game 2, and now he's back to his old self, and he goes 22 for 27, 255 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So now he's back to the Aaron Rodgers that we kind of know him to be. But now his post game, he seems to feel some type of way about people who had something to say about game 1. So let's take a listen.
Obviously, you cared last week, but did you feel like it looked like you didn't last week? Is that kind of what you're implying? How do you take that?
I just think people like to say a lot of bullshit, and it's nice to come back in here after a game like that.
I mean, it's the whole way he said it. I know we say this all the time. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it, but it's the whole, let me roll up my sleeves. Let me have this comment dripping with swag and say, people don't know what they're talking about when they come to me. But I don't think we're wrong in our assessment that he did look checked out in that first game. And I'm not mad at him for that. I think that sometimes when you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, it'll take you some time to warm up to the point where you're like, okay, whether I want to be here or not, I have to go out here and do my job to the best of my abilities. I don't think any of us were wrong in our assessment of that game 1 situation. But Chris, do you think he's a little cocky and just dismissive of how bad that first game was?
I think he said it himself. He's like, it's nice to come in here after a win like that. Like I think cocky is the right word. Like he's feeling himself a little bit more because he had a better week 2 than he did a week 1. I agree with them though, in the sense too that people were, jumping like we said it. You were saying like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers was bad, but put some respect on our damn defense. We were holding them down to have the game that he had. So yeah, for people to jump on the Aaron Rodgers, was trash training. Even Stephen A. Smith, who is an open Aaron Rodgers lover, to go as crazy as he did. I'm with Aaron Rodgers on both of them, but also I do think he was very cocky on that one because he even said to himself, like, it feels good to, come in here after a game like today. Like, oh, so now what happened last week though, bro? Like, what happened last week? But so I'm on both sides with this one. Like, he's definitely cocky, but I feel what he's saying. I don't disagree.
I don't disagree, but I think, he's been so honest about everything that he's feeling with regard to Green Bay. I would have loved him to come out and just be like, I wasn't all there that first game because I didn't want to be here. You know what I mean? And because
that would be crazy. If you said that would have been crazy.
I mean, I'm at the point now where Aaron Rodgers was that guy for me that he was just going to come out here and be super honest, because he's been super honest. But you act like that was just a one-off. No, sir. The camera zoomed into your face and you were just like,
right. Yeah.
I don't want to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we saw it. We think don't play like that wasn't a thing. Be honest about that. Don't pretend like this is a one-off that this happens. It does happen. It rarely happens to Aaron Rodgers, though. And when it does happen to Aaron Rodgers, it's right. It's a situation where it's like something's wrong. So they play on Sunday, the 49ers. Let's say that he has a day that's similar to what we had against him. If he has a horrible game on Sunday and then he just sandwiches one good game between two bad games, then what is he going to say?
That's what I want to say. I don't know. I think we're all on this roller coaster together because, like I said, for him to get that cocky after having a good second game, and then if he goes and has a bad third game, I think he responds a lot like how he did after game one. Like, it was a tough game, move on to the next one kind of thing. So I think it's just going to be an Aaron Rodgers roller coaster of interviews this season, and I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm with Ty in the chat. He said, "Sir, it was the Lions." Yeah, so maybe dial back the cockiness. Just touch Lions. I 100% agree with that. But that's all we got for Need to Know News. Chris, can you take us into the post up?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this hump day. We're going to the post up with your boy Chris. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. And Kevin, I don't know what you're talking about. The Saints played the Patriots. That's the only P team I know. There was a game last weekend. I guess we lost, and that's all I know. I don't know what game you're talking about. Panthers? Over my head, I don't know what you're talking about. You are in the past, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. But from my Saints, we go to my Knicks, and the internet. Y'all can't let nobody live. You know what I mean? Like my man Julius Randle coming off of a Most Improved Player of the Year. Having a tremendous season out here, having these great workouts, looking like he's trying to take that next step. I'm excited. But let his wifey share one video of him trying to do some home improvement. And the internet is going berserk. They went after my man Julius Randle's hammering abilities, and it kind of deserved. But here's this video of Julius Randle just trying to put things together in the house. Look at Julius Randle. What up, Kaiden? Now, here's the thing, man. People were going after his technique. That's not how you hold a hammer, Julius. People going after the nail angle. That's not how you put an angle. All these different – this one, the Knicks memes. Y'all do better. Y'all one of my favorite accounts on Twitter. Julius Randle just signed a $100 million deal. Can he please hire a handyman? Dude has no idea what he's doing, LMAO. Y'all can't let him live? What if he's hanging a picture? Maybe he wants the angle so the picture can – maybe it's an aesthetic. I don't know. Let Julius Randle do what he's doing. What's important is he's spending time with the little one and with wifey. Let him live. But we have more Twitter response. That's not it. Nick's meme started the whole thing. And we have DJ Moss saying, that's not how you hold a hammer, LOL. That's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all don't want to let nobody live. But this next one, though. I like this next one. This tweet saying – sorry, my throat is this is how the rich stay rich. Is this a lie, Jackie Ray? Is this a lie? Why go and pay like this? Like you saying, if you just putting a hammer, we don't know if you're putting up a picture, something like that. Why hire a handyman where you can go in there and put the nail in wrong? At least the nail's not pointing down because I ain't gonna hang up no picture that way. At least pointing up. So this is how the rich stay rich. Do you disagree, or Jackie? You said no. You team like Julius, put the hammer down, give it to somebody who knows what they're doing. You on that team?
The rich stay rich by monitoring their money, number one, and number two, knowing stuff that they're not good at. So what Julius Randle might end up doing one day is busting a hole in that wall because he clearly doesn't know how to use a hammer. And then you got to pay more money to have the handyman come in and fix the hole. So that's money wasted. But if you knew that you wasn't good at it, then you hire the handyman beforehand. You save some money. This is bad investment. Bad investment. And what is on the ground? Is that a table that he already messed up? What's on the ground? Because it looked that situation looks wrong. It looks like he didn't even put the table together right.
Can we see the video again? What are you talking about? What's on the ground? I thought it was just a table. Wasn't it just a table?
It's a table that looks like it's in distress to me. Okay.
Oh, it's like the side of a couch. He is hanging a picture. He is hanging a picture. Get off of him. He's just hanging a picture. Julius can't hang his own pictures. He can't hang his own portraits. Y'all think he's over here putting together a whole center console? He's hanging a damn picture. Man, y'all leave Julius Randle alone.
I'm going to do one better. Based on that picture looks like the width is fairly wide.
Right.
It doesn't look like
off.
Where he's hanging that nail, there's not going to be enough room
to
hang
that. I'll give you. You are 100% right there because that I'll give you. The angling ain't great. You can tell he just went in there and like, here, you want to hear? All right. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. But he just hanging a damn picture. You don't need a handyman to hang a damn picture. Y'all leave Julius Randle alone. Case closed. We moving on. Oh yeah, shout out to Simmons. Some of y'all needed. Yeah, that's right. Some of y'all need something to damn to do. Y'all here bugging a man for hanging a damn picture. That's right. Nothing but Nick. Shout out to Sim. Yeah, man. Y'all attacking my man Julius Randle over here trying to hang a damn picture. Moving on. We have. So this next one we have a bit of. I don't even want to call this conspiracy. To me, this is just a reach. But we have conspiracy and another post-up weight check, I guess. It's both of them in one. A media. I'm not even co-signing this conspiracy. So we have a bit of a conspiracy and a weight check. Because here on the post-up, we like to, in the offseason, we be checking on players, comeuppance. And right now, it's looking like DAngelo Russell, who is known to be, a rather wiry, long wingspan dude. He's looking like he's bulking up a little bit. He posted this picture on IG. Getting ready for the next season, looking like he's bringing back the old school Braves from when he first got to Brooklyn. And yeah, he's doing this thing. I mean, I know he's in Minnesota now, but yeah, he's looking a little bit buff. People looking at him like, oh snap, D'Lo trying to stay healthy. He's looking like he's buff. Blah 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 blah. All right, nice and simple. Nope, it's not simple enough. If you look at that you see the liked who liked this this picture. There's a nice big name right there saying Ben Simmons. Yes, there's been rumors. And I don't know how this is going to happen, but there have been rumors that there's going to be some sort of move between the Wolves and the Sixers that would not include D'Lo. It would not include Cat. And in some magical world, it would not include Anthony Edwards, and it would make Ben Simmons go to the Wolves. And this same account said, "Oh, you don't believe me yet? Well, here's DAngelo Russell's Twitter page. Got the crown over his head. Shout out to Drake. And then you go over to Ben Simmons' page. So now, allegedly, because they both have the same idea, they're trying to put out a message that they're trying to be teammates or that they're going to be teammates. Now, mind you, I like this combination. A, have all the crybabies be on one team, all the little babies be on one team so they can handle that together, except for you, Cat. So do what you got to do. And B, there is no B. I have no B. I don't know. I don't know how people think that this is going to happen and that the Wolves won't have to give up anything. But also, I don't know how people think that this is connected in any way. To me, this is a whack conspiracy. I'm debunking this conspiracy. Jackie Ray, do you think there's any legs on this conspiracy, or do you think people are just reaching on at this point? Because to me, this is all whack. They can't be friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I always say that on this show. We forget that a lot of guys in the league are friends. They hang out. They go to dinner together. They go to each other's weddings, important events. It's one of those things where if you want to read something into it, you can, but rarely is there something there. And plus, if we're going to read something into it, how my reading goes. Every time I see a crown, that means King James. So I could see the crown on Ben Simmons' page, which looks more like the crown that LeBron uses. And I could say, okay, he and LeBron are talking, and now it's resonating with him because we damn sure ain't bringing him to the Lakers. So it just depends on how you want to see things. You know what I mean? You can read whatever you want to read into things like this. But that was the LeBron James crown on Ben Simmons' page. I just need to make sure everybody.
Yeah, I saw the chat. They're like, yo, CK always found a way to bring it back to the Knicks. Jackie I didn't say, I have not said number 6's name yet. I didn't even put a picture of him, but Jackie found a way. You know what it is? You know?
It was right in front of us. I was just the only one who saw it. That's it.
All right, well, we got 2 separate conspiracies out. So there's the T-Wolf conspiracy, and now Jackie Ray's putting legs on a new Laker conspiracy where Ben Simmons ends up. The same person that you were just talking about. So here's my follow-up question before we move on. You'll take Ben Simmons on the Lakers?
Oh,
okay.
But I think that,
right.
I mean, because we know that he and LeBron are friends, I think the crown means LeBron's in his ear, telling him how to navigate this a little bit. He's like, man, LeBron is the king, helping me through this. That's why I gotta say. Look, I can make it make sense, you guys. Whether you guys want to ride with me or not, I can make it make sense.
Anytime I have a business deal that I need to come through, Jackie, I'm gonna have you on speed dial for sure because you're gonna make anything make sense, and I appreciate that about you for sure. But yeah, so let me check the chat real quick to see what y'all are saying. Yeah, see, the chat's having a good time with this. But let's move on to the next one. Speaking of, well, here we go. We're going to a clashing of worlds where, as you know, Carmelo Anthony is now a Laker, but he's going to be teaming up with his good friend, his pal, Jackie Ray's favorite player in the world, LeBron James. And this little fan came to Carmelo Anthony's book signing. And he was a little concerned. Like, I don't know if he knows that Melo's on the Lakers now, but he's a little concerned. And he had a big question for Carmelo Anthony to ask. Here's little man's question.
Are you still friends with LeBron James?
Yes.
Look, I'm wearing a shirt.
I see that.
He's like, phew. Oh, man, I thought Carmelo Anthony was going to be mad at me. Oh, my gosh. Oh, thank God. Are you still friends with LeBron James? Yes. Oh, God. I'm wearing your shirt. Okay, so we're good? All right. Oh, I thought that was Carmelo Anthony. I think he was going to be mad. Like the way he reminds me of the apparently kid because like he's just making sure that everything was cool. But yeah, and it's funny because then on top of that, I didn't put the tweet in there, but on top of that, Carmelo added LeBron saying like we still cool, right? Like everything's good between us, and it was a fun little back and forth. But shout out to Carmelo Anthony. I think we mentioned it on the show last week. His new book is released. It's doing well in sales as it should be, as expected. Yeah, so shout out to Carmelo Anthony, and it's a cool question by a little man right there. It was just funny. He's like so timid.
Look.
Same, 100%.
The books that I have purchased during the pandemic and have not read yet. So I'm just gonna add. I bought so many books. Like I'm gonna catch up on all kinds of reading.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful book though now to hold all.
There you go. Now it's looking good. Right. Yeah, now I got a whole one shelf of the books that I've read time and time again because I only gonna read those same 10 books because that's as far as my reading has gone. But I do need to add this for sure because Carmelo Anthony's my guy, so I want to know I want to learn more about stuff that I don't already know. That's my favorite part about reading. So yeah, I need to get that book for sure. Or I'm just gonna audible it. One of the two might happen. I don't know. But moving on. Yeah. So that might be the move here. But I do want the book to say I have the book. But speaking of favorite players, y'all know that a place in my heart. I love my Knicks, but that 2010 to 2014 Knicks always will have a huge spot of real estate in my heart. And anybody that played for that team, I love you. And you guys know that I talk about Earl J.R. Smith. That's my guy. But on the other hand, Iman Shumpert was my dude too. I follow whatever Iman Shumpert's doing because I love Iman Shumpert. I'm so happy that he has his championship. That is my guy. And then when I found out this man is going to be on Dancing with the Stars, I said, damn, I guess I have to watch Dancing with the Stars this season because I'm going to support whatever my man Iman Shumpert is doing. And also too, it's so funny before this performance that I'm about to show you guys. I was just talking to one of my homies. Mom was talking about, yeah, there's a basketball player on there. I'm like, you better watch that basketball player because he's gonna surprise you. And he sure did surprise because Iman Shumpert put on the moves. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to play the music because it's Hey Y'all by Outkast. But you don't need the music to see how Iman Shumpert was out there cooking. He was putting down the moves in this whole performance. We're gonna watch this entire thing. Iman Shumpert was doing his damn thing. You can tell he retired at just the right time because he's still like mobile and he can move. Look at the knees. Watch the high knees. Watch the movement. He put some salsa with it. Look at the move. Nice spin. We doing the clap. Watch the legs. Look at him go. Come on.
Come on, Iman. Get it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
doing
this. Hey, yeah. Look at the vote. Ah, Spreader's gone. Yeah, he's been. Hey, yeah, I don't know which part we're on yet. I don't want to sing the song in the minute. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Oh, that's the part right here. That's the only part I remember.
Is that what that part is? Are you sure?
Yeah, that's it. I'm 100% sure. That's the only part I remember. Yeah, I'm saying.
Shouts out to her though. So for those of you who don't normally watch Dancing with the Stars, so one of the things that I do love about Dancing with the Stars is the dancer, their partner choreographs it. So she has to choreograph something that makes him look good. And so she killed it. Shouts out to her for choreographing something.
So I'm glad you mentioned, because this is my first time watching, because I've never cared enough to ever watch it, but now I'm on Shepard's on it, and I had to watch this episode. But so did the dancers pick their poison? Like, they're like, all right, I know that idiot cannot do nothing, I guess I'll handle it. Or do the celebrities pick the dancers, or do the show just assign them to whoever?
They're assigned to whoever, but then when they get their partner, they'll meet. There's a dance studio in Santa Monica where they meet at, and they'll kind of be in there for a couple hours just getting to know each other, playing some music, just dancing around so the dancer can see their skill set. And then most of them don't have any skills at all, but they're just trying to see how you move, how you pick up basic choreography. And then everything falls on their dance partner to choreograph something that makes them look good. Sometimes sometimes the dancers have another choreographing partner, but for the most part, it falls on the dancer. So shouts out to her, because he looked like he was just careless and effortless out there. So she did contained small moves that look great on him because he has such a big frame. It's a little easier. I've obviously been watching Dancing with the Stars for way too long, but it is a little easier. I was about to say, you a vet. When they're tall like that, you can do smaller movements because it's still going to look big. It's still going to be animated to the crowd. So she killed it with that choreography. I love that. I didn't know that this season was back. I'm still trying to catch up on the new season of Masked Singer, so I totally forgot about Dancing with the Stars. I didn't get
to start Masked Singer. Yeah, I'm excited. I saw the hamster. Yeah, I saw the hamster in the commercial. I was like, hold on, this season gonna be cool. That hamster suit looked hilarious. Yeah, we haven't started yet. We saw the commercial. We're like, all right, stop. We gotta go. So yeah, we can start the Masked Singer soon. All right, okay. So yeah, let's see. I just learned a little bit more about Dancing with the Stars that I didn't know, because I thought it was like one of those things where they go on there and they see like dodgeball. They see the dancers like, all right, I won't dance with her, or the dancers would be like, all right, we got these are idiots this year. All right, give me a Mon Shumpert. So that's cool that they're assigned and they get to know each other. That's cool. All right, for sure. Mon Shumpert killed the damn thing, but you know who didn't kill the damn thing? Conor McGregor. One thing I always say, if I ever became a celebrity and any baseball team asked me to do the first pitch, I'm going to hang up the phone so fast. Because to me, I don't think there's a win in this situation. There's never a win in the first pitch. I don't care how nice your pitch looks. What's going to happen? They going to sign you? No. You're just going to be. No one cares about that because everyone cares about, tosses like this one. Conor McGregor, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Where's that going? If I could play the yeet sound effect, that is the perfect example of the yeet. Look at it, yeet. Look at it go. There's no benefit to this. Conor McGregor, you have enough L's. Literally, you are a Jake Paul knockout away from no one caring about you. Like, Conor, stop. Just sell your damn liquor and get ready for your next fight. I don't understand this. Am I being too critical? Am I being too harsh? I did see Conor McGregor at SoFi on Sunday. That was kind of cool. But Jackie, am I being harsh? Like, to me,
no. You know why? Because his whole movement was like, I'm Conor McGregor, watch this throw. And then, like you said, yeet. He should have just done the underhanded softball pitch. He would have been better off doing that.
He shouldn't have done it at all, Jackie. He shouldn't have done it at all. He doesn't need any more L's right now. He does not need any more L's. Conor, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You call you... Yeah, no. If he had done that and then threw that, I would have called Jake Paul myself. Like, yo, how do we make this? Let me know what you need me to do. Like, how do we make this fight happen? Because we get your boy, Conor McGregor, ladies and gentlemen. That's y'all guy. That's y'all boy. We had a cool moment outside of Aaron Rodgers from Monday Night Football. We had the St. Brown brothers. I always get the names mixed up, so I'm just going to stick it to that. But both of these guys are in the league, and God, I'm trying to remember. I think the Green Bay St. Brown is the rookie or the newest, and then we've had forgive me, chat, please help me with names because I'm not good with names. But they had a dope photo swap or jersey swap, post game, really cool. You can see one played a little bit more than the other. Like I said, one was the vet, one was the rookie. It's okay, they'll be fine. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. But playing the same position, we always talk about, brothers in the league. I love seeing, these guys go out there and do their damn thing. I think it's really cool. Congratulations to them. But what's even cooler is that there was a picture shared of both of them back in the day, grinding to get to the point where they are right now. You know what I mean? So really dope moment for them. Shout out to the St. Brown family. Shout out to Mama of St. Brown. I always feel bad for these parents when their kids got to play against each other in the league because that they torn. But really cool moment for them. A lot of moments to come for the young guy because he's playing with the Packers, and maybe one week might become his week because Aaron Rodgers is notorious for making fourth, fifth string receivers look great. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be talking about St. Brown in a different way. Again, forgive me for not knowing either of their names. I'm so sorry. But yeah, really cool moment. Dope moment for sure. And then going from. Oh, gosh, Jackie, I was hoping that this next one was going to die with me missing yesterday's show, but it didn't. It still made its way into today's post-up. So we talked briefly on Monday about a stupid taunting call with the Seahawks and how it was just, complete natural emotion, and it got turned into a taunting call, and then he got disciplined for less of a lack of a better word by the referee on the on the microphone, and that was the whole thing. We talked about that moment, and then I was also talking about another moment that happened at the Chargers game where it just felt like there was just tons of whack taunting calls throughout just this last weekend alone. Well, if you don't believe if you want to take our word for it, there's a compilation here. Now, unfortunately, there's a bunch of videos, and I didn't want to show the other ones because some of the other ones were just, they're kind of 50-50. So I was like, all right, I'll let the refs win those battles. But these ones right here that I'm about to show you guys, including the Chargers play I told the story about on Monday, y'all can't tell me that these are taunting calls. Here's this little compilation.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 88 spinning the ball in the opponent's bench. That's number 88. First time.
Watch the play. Come on, son.
Come on.
And this is the one I was telling you about with Keenan Allen. He got upset because of the tackle. See, helmet to helmet. See, he's pissed off about it. He gets up. Like, yo, chill out with that, son. And here comes the referee. Taunting foul on Keenan Allen. Crazy, right? Like, it's just, and it's getting worse and worse. And this one is the play that Jackie talked about. We don't have to see that again because it's stupid. And I watched it again. I was just like, what's going on? And then there was other ones. There was one that was close. I was just like, all right, I'll give them the benefit down on that one. But yeah, this is going to get worse. I guarantee you by week 17, going into playoffs, there's going to be a segment on Post Up or a segment on this show or maybe an entire live of us playing a 2-hour-long compilation of all the trash taunting calls from this one season alone, because we already have 2 long videos from week 1. If you guys haven't watched it, go check it out on YouTube. And then this one was just from week 2. Jackie, it's getting worse, and I guarantee you this is only the beginning. These referees have too much power. I don't even know if you want to comment on it anymore because we talked about it all on Monday, and it's just going to get worse. But my question to you is, and I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm just want to ask it so we can have it here on footage. Do you think that the NFL will figure it out mid-season and lift this rule, or is this a kind of thing that they'll lift after the season, or you think the NFL is going to stay pat and this is just going to be the future of the league and they're keeping this for the long term?
I think given the owners in the league and their desire to show their power to these athletes, I think that this rule is here to stay, unfortunately. Because the way that this rule came about was, it came down from the owners. And I mean, maybe the players have a chance of getting it removed, with the NFLPA, but honestly, there's no reason to even create this rule unless you just want to show a force, unless you want to say to these guys, hey, we control you, you don't control us. I think in all honesty, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, I can't even understand why this rule came about. And he made a great point. He's like, it came about because there's too many athletes now that are forcing their hand. They're deciding that they're not going to play. They're deciding what they want for their future. And the owners took that personally, and they said, okay, let us show you how we're going to impact the game. We're going to make this stupid rule that nobody needs. And I was like, I don't know if that's the reason why they did it, but it does make sense because it does seem like a show of force. It does seem like a way to say to the players, we control you. So It could be. I don't know for sure, but this is a terrible rule. shows how trash the owners are and the NFL are. So sorry.
Yeah. Nah, I think 100% is a show of force because of the example you showed with the Seahawks. Like the fact that he felt like he needed to berate the player while you're making your call. Never heard of that before. Like, we get the rule. Why do you have to say it like that? If you do it again, you're going to, like, we know the rule. Why do you feel the need to say that? So I definitely feel like this is them trying to get the control back in their hands, or the control that they've already been at. I don't know why they need any more control, because it feels like these referees run these games regardless. So, yeah, I think you have a good point. I hope you're wrong. Respectfully, I hope you're wrong, but you have a good point. This that for the owners, you're 100% correct. Knowing these damn owners, so we'll see what happens. But it's definitely not going to happen mid-season. So buckle up. It's going to be a long season as far as these taunting calls. Yeah, so there's that. But last but not least, Jets fans, cover your ears, because we got this little kid who is probably going to be this kid's probably going to be working for the Jets, if not the Jets, the Patriots, by the end of this live, because this kid absolutely bodies the Jets. And the best part about this clip, before I show you this clip, everything that he's describing, this was the first offensive play for the Jets. Let that sink in.
Oh, God.
And listen to my man right here.
If there's one play that sums up the New York Jets, this one has to be it. This Patriots winning off the edge. This Jets lineman is probably holding. There's a Patriot charging up the middle at Zach with no blocking at all. This Jets dude is being pancaked on the ground. We have these two idiots staring at each other like, yo, what are we doing? I don't know, let's just stand here. We have 78 touching his own lineman. On top of that, we have two receivers with zero separation, and the cherry on top has to be Zach Wilson throwing this pick.
Wait for it.
And Corey Davis has no hops.
Oh, God. Come on, my guy.
Yo, this dude bodied without a stutter, without a hitch. This man went through the entire thing. I don't know which is my favorite part, because I love he was like 78 touching his own dude. This man gets absolutely pancaked. These two looking at him, oh, what we gonna do? Oh, we're just gonna stand here. Like, he killed that. And then on top of that, Zach Wilson throwing a pick. Like, it's just, and I'm sorry, that wasn't the first play of the game. That was the first play no, it wasn't the first play of the game. It was the first play for the Jets. So I guess technically it's the first play of the game for the Jets, because it's their first possession. But crazy. I know you got no words because you've been saying that.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn, I thought it was too high, but he's like, no, Corey got no hops. I'm like, I thought
that. And this is what I was saying with the other throw. Nah, man, Corey Davis need to go get those damn balls, man. I mean, it was a bad throw, but Corey still could have jumped and he could have deflected that or something. Yeah, that kid, I'm telling you, I said the Jets, but actually the Patriots. Bill Belichick might like what he sees, and he's going to be like, slandered on the Jets? Yeah, you can come and work for us. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought that was great. I'm sorry, Jets fans. If there's any Jets fans in the chat or any Jets fans that watch this after the fact, I apologize, but that was hilarious. But Jackie Ray, can you tell us what we're not going to do on this fine hump day?
Yes, let's get into what we're not going to do. First and foremost, Chris is lying. He's not apologizing from his heart. He wants y'all to feel every piece of what the kid just said. He's fronting. Let me just let y'all know that right now. But let's get into this one's going to be quick, because what do I always say? I don't want to say always, but what have I said since the NFL let us know that no, as a player, you don't not even the NFL, the country now has let us know we're going to start pushing this vaccine. I don't know where you guys live. Here in LA, in Long Beach specifically, which is where I hang out a lot. I don't know what the laws are in the city here. I live in downtown, but in Long Beach where I work, we can't go out to anywhere. We can't go to a bar. We can't go to a restaurant. There is a movie theater open out there that we can't go to unless we have our vaccination card. It is kind of funny. I've had to present my vaccination card one time. I literally got it out. Dude did not even look to see what it said. He was like, okay, you're good. So I don't know how well this is being enforced, but this is happening throughout our country, that people are putting down these vaccine mandates to allow you to get into places. Obviously, it's caused for a lot of protests. We've seen this. The vaccine means different things to different people. I am not trying to tell you what to do as far as the vaccine, but I'm going to say the same thing I've said over and over and over again. Do not let your feelings about the vaccine impact your money. And I 100% believe that. And I don't really care how you feel about that, because what's going to happen is if you end up losing your job or not being able to work because you didn't get vaccinated, that's going to impact your bank account, your family, where you live, all of that. And I just don't think it's worth it on our level. But I don't even think it's worth that on the professional athlete level. So if you don't know, New York put down a vaccine mandate that went into effect on September 13th, requiring all people over the age of 12 to have proof of vaccination to enter certain covered premises in the city unless they have approved medical or religious exemption. Y'all know I feel some type of way about that religious exemption thing. But so the NBA also informed teams earlier this month, I believe, was the last time, this month, that the players would not receive an exemption from any local laws. So that means if your state, your city requires a vaccine to enter the arena, you as a player also need to be vaccinated to enter. Chris and I talked about this a little while ago, how weird, it's kind of weird though, because the NBA per se is only enforcing that rule on the team from that city. So if you come in from a city that doesn't require vaccinations, you can get into the building. Don't understand how that came about. I'm sure we'll do another What We Not Gonna Do when we figure that out, or when the league says no. If you're playing in that city, you have to abide by the laws of that city, which that makes more sense, but that's not where we are right now. So again, this is, at first we knew at the time that this was going to impact the Nets, the New York Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors, because these are the teams that are in the cities where these vaccine mandates have been laid down. But Sean Marks yesterday, he told reporters that some of his teams, which is the Nets, they would be unable to play because of this vaccine mandate. So I want to show you a quote that he said regarding that. He said, regarding if they could play today, I can't comment on who could play and so forth. He says so forth a lot, which is hilarious to me, but that's just a sidebar. But he says, I can't comment on who could play and so forth. There would obviously be a couple of people missing from that picture. I won't get into who it is, but we feel confident the following several days before camp, everybody would be allowed to participate and so forth. I don't know why that bothers me, but he says it all the time. Anyway, so he says, this is what he said basically about the players. Now, because of HIPAA, things like that, we know he can't tell us which players are or are not vaccinated, but there was a level of concern on this situation, at least a little bit. So then he went on to give us another quote, which I'm going to point this one out as well. He says, we are supporting getting the vaccination and putting out a healthy squad. So at this point, I think we are ready to go into the season. We don't see these, whether it's the citywide mandate or a league mandate to follow, being any sort of hindrance to us putting out a team and so forth. He didn't say so forth, but I just added that in there. But so here's the thing. And again, don't let this vaccine mess with your money. I understand any and all drawbacks. Every single person who is leery of the vaccine, 100% understand why you feel that way. But at the end of the day, this is our country did not handle the pandemic right. Let's just be honest about that. If we'd have stayed in the house for real, and we would have just let it die out on its own, we would have been better. But we Americans, we ain't the smartest people on the planet. We want what we want when we want it, including our sports. So we came back way too soon. And so now this is what we're dealt with. So your feelings got to go by the wayside, because all of us in some way contributed to the fact that we needed to open up sooner than what we did. And now, since we opened up sooner than what we did and we didn't handle this right, these are the consequences of that. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, no, we don't want the vaccine. We don't want the virus to die out on its own. We want to come back out now, but we don't want to do anything. We don't want to wear masks. We don't want to get vaccinated. Y'all can't do that. This is where we are. So if it's required, if you are on the new, well, let me take that back. Don't get vaccinated if you're on the Nets. Don't get vaccinated if you're a Clipper. Don't get vaccinated if you're Golden State. Don't get vaccinated. Who else can I not stand? Who else? Is there any other team that I just hate? I don't think there's any other team and I don't hate those teams, but I'm just saying, don't get vaccinated, y'all. This is what we're not going to do. I'm not going to encourage you to go out there and get vaccinated. Y'all got plenty of money. Don't worry about the money. Just know that you can't play in certain places. You can't play in California. You can't play in New York. Go ahead and not get vaccinated. Please and thank you. That's all I got to say about that. What we're not going to do is pretend that I want y'all to go out there and get vaccinated when you not being vaccinated means you can't play. And if your name is Kevin Durant, I'm fine with that. Don't get vaccinated. That's all I got to say about that.
It doesn't matter. They're still gonna be able to play. That's so whack. I don't know. Yeah, you're right though. But I just they gonna what? Because once they're away, I mean they're not gonna play 2 games out of the. I don't know. That's so whack. It just makes no sense.
I fully expect LA to say, no, we're not going to do that rule. If you come into our arena, you have to abide by. And that's the problem, though. It's kind of a team by team situation. But I do fully expect at some point somebody saying, hey, if it's the law of that city, you need to abide by the law of that city, whether you're coming in or you actually are the team that's there. So I do see that happening. So go ahead and y'all keep playing these games.
Yeah,
It's fine
let's see
with
what
me.
happened. Let's see what happened. Yeah, when this rule first came out, my hopes were not high, but yeah, now seeing how LA's been handling things a little bit recently, yeah, I definitely think that they're gonna put their foot down. Like, no, you are not gonna be in here, and Mr. Kevin Durant, you are not vaccinated. Like, so I don't know why we attacking Kevin Durant, but I definitely think they're gonna force it a little bit more. Still
Kai
stupid though.
Kai says King James. There's a typo in your comments, sir. Let me help you. King James don't get vaccinated. Here's the funny thing about being King James, though. He's King James. There's a workaround when you're the king. Don't let
I don't know. I think there's a
do
smudge on my computer. I see LaFlop, but whatever. I don't know. I guess I see something different.
I think he can't spell. Ty can't spell. Maybe he has reading comprehension problems. So I wasn't going to point out the flaw in his comment. I was just trying to let him know how to spell it in the future so he can be a better person going forward. I wasn't going to call out the trouble there. So you wrong for that, Chris.
Got it. All right.
But that's all the time we got, you guys. It was a great show. Welcome back, Chris. Glad everything went okay from yesterday.
Yeah.
Good to have you back as always.
Glad to be back.
Wednesday is our hump day. We're going to be back tomorrow, which is Friday Eve. That's what I'm calling it from here.
Yes, you're calling Thursday from now on? All right.
And so forth. I'm calling it Friday Eve and so forth. And so that's going to be my thing. Make sure you join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Follow me on all social media at Jerry the Fanatic. Follow Chris. We will see y'all tomorrow morning. Don't forget, be safe, be good to each other, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.